Hey, 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 hey. It's your girl, Jamie Drew with thegirlfriendexperience.org, and this is the Girlfriend Experience Classroom. So come on in, have a seat. Let's make sure I can see my comments here. Okay, I had to swipe over. Come on in, have a seat. Grab yourself a drink. Stay hydrated. You know, I always got me a little something to drink. Non-alcoholic, okay? This is the Girlfriend Experience Classroom. Make sure you share this video as you come in and comment, say hello, let me know you are in the room, okay? If you are watching this on the recorded version, still say hello. You know, let's get interactive in here, okay? And sharing this video helps the message get out to other people that you love and that you want to hear the message also, and just helps to grow this channel. Hello, Tamara, my dear. First one in here. This is how to get out of a rut. So let's talk about, you know, what kind of ruts you could be in. Okay, there's all kinds of scenarios out there where you could be in a rut, but for a lot of people, being in a rut involves some type of financial strain, right? I mean, it could be a relationship too, but you know, most of the time we're talking about a financial strain, you know, something that you're trying to get out of, a hole that you're trying to climb out of. Thank you for sharing. A hole that you're trying to climb out of. You need to make more money. You know, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, oh my gosh, Jamie, you're a single mother. You make it look like a piece of cake. I'm a single mother. I don't know what I'm doing. Please help me. This is for those people. That's right. It could be an emotional rut that you're in. Excuse the noise in the background, okay? Somebody decided to ride their motorcycle by. Can I be out on a motorcycle? Goodness. Okay, but they are dangerous. I have to remind myself. I haven't been on the back of anybody's motorcycle since I've been in my 20s. So, you know, let me just ride the rest of these days out safe, okay? Can I do that? Y'all also might hear my birds chirping in the background. They're very happy birds, so, you know, they might want to say hello too. But they're in a different room. I closed the door. So let's get back to it. Let's talk about the ruts that you might be in. You could be in an emotional rut. You could have had a breakup with your boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, whoever is your significant other. You're just feeling down and out, right? You're just in a position where you're like, okay, I'm ready to come out of this. I'm down in the slumps. Let me climb up this hill, you know, let me get out of this valley that I'm in. You know, we've been talking a lot over the last couple of weeks in class about leveling up, getting your finances together, getting your mind right, just being on a different page than you were before, climbing out of a slump. That's what we've been talking about the whole time, right? But this class, we're going to specifically discuss getting out of a rut. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do, okay, now this is probably the hardest part because, you know, the hardest part to anything is getting started, right? So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is identify the problem. And listen, y'all, I scrabbled a whole bunch of notes. I was going like, oh, this is a good topic because so many people ask me about this. The first thing you've gotta do is identify the problem. You cannot get out of a rut. You cannot change any situation without identifying what the problem is, okay? So go into your feelings and figure it out. Go into your purse, your pocket, your wallet, figure it out. What is going on? Are you broke? Okay? Are you fat? Okay? Are you lonely? Are you balding? You know what I'm saying? You could be balding. That could be the rut that you're trying to get out of, okay? Something, whatever it is that is bothering you, whatever it is that is on your mind, identify what that is. And it could be multiple things, okay? It could be, you could be balding and fat. Okay, you could be, you know, having financial struggles and balding. You could have been just getting out of a relationship and that caused you to have financial struggles. So you may have layer on top of layer on top of layer of problems, okay? But you have got to look at the problem. What you cannot measure, you cannot resolve, okay? So you have to actually look at it, and that's going to be the hardest part because looking at it means looking at you, right? If something is wrong in your life and you want to change it, the only way to change it is to take responsibility. if you feel like, and if you continue to say that the problem lies with somebody else, hold on, y'all, let me move this light, because y'all know I be Whitney Houstoning up in here. I start sweating, and ain't nobody bought me a church fan yet, so got to make adjustments. So if you are still in a position where you are blaming other people for your problems, hey, Miss Reese, if you're still in a position where where you are associating your problems with other people, then you will never resolve them. Because if you say, okay, this problem that I have is associated with this person, then that person is the only person that can solve that problem for you, right? And so you'll be sitting back waiting for that person to fix your problem. Okay, if that is how you are identifying the problem and connecting that problem to that other person. So if you really want to, get out of a rut, climb out of a valley, okay, get a better situation going on with your life, then identifying the problem starts with you, okay? And you really have to be honest with yourself. What is going on with me? Okay, and you have to think, well, what is the most common denominator? Because a lot of times when you identify the problem that you're currently having, you start to think, well, wait a minute, I've had this problem several times in the past as well. Okay, in my daytime capacity, I deal with a lot of low income people, a lot of homeless people. And one of the questions that we ask when we're trying to identify, well, how can we help this person? We might have to ask that person, well, over the last 3 years or over the last particular time period, how many times have you been homeless? And you would really be surprised to find out that these particular homeless people, it is not their first time being homeless. Okay? And so I say that to say, I'm willing to bet that whatever rut you're in now, especially if you of age like me, if you a young 20-something, if you a little young thing, this may be your first time going through something. And oh, baby, I'm sorry, you're going to go through some more, okay? But if you're getting up there in age, you in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I don't care. You're going to go through some things for life, okay? So you probably have been in this position before. So in order to identify the problem, you may start identifying cycles that you're picking up on. You may start identifying, scenarios where, wait a minute, I've been in this scenario before. Matter of fact, this happened to me 3 years ago, okay? When you can be honest with yourself and start looking at that is when you can begin to resolve the problem. So if you need to take out a pen and pad, do that. If you need to, take it on the notes on your phone, do that. If you need to buy a journal, a diary, whatever it is, but you need to really look at it and face it in order for you to resolve it. Okay? Now, finding the common denominator. A lot of people don't want to find the common denominator because this is where they start to realize that the problem is themselves. Okay? Let's talk about relationships for a minute. If you've had a bunch of bad relationships, you're the common denominator, okay? Then you may have to figure out, well, what's wrong with you? Okay? I had a girlfriend one time who said that she had gone on, I think it was 70 dates in one summer. And so stuff like that starts to make me think, well, wait a minute. You've been on 70 different dates, okay, that you decided to go on, that you felt were worthwhile to at least give it a try. Maybe you need to look in the mirror and see, maybe this problem is you, okay? Now, listen, I'm not going to be calling out friends and everything and not calling out myself. I've been through that situation before. Now, this is part of doing the work, okay? The inner work, okay? Figuring out, well, what is going on with me? I've been in a string of bad relationships. What did I do to contribute to that? Okay? Even if you don't think it is your fault, find it. Find a piece where it was your fault. Even if it was just to identify and say, I made poor choices in the types of guys that I decided to date. Okay? Some of us have to be honest with ourselves about that. I have made poor choices and I opened up the door to allow this person to do this to me. Okay, so even if you can't identify with, oh, so-and-so cheated on me, or oh, so-and-so beat on me, or whatever, this is the part where it's wise to blame the victim. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You know, we don't want to blame the victim. But in this particular scenario, even when we are the victim, we need to try to find, because like I said, if you leave it up to somebody else to fix it, who knows how long you're going to be waiting, okay? So identifying the problem, being honest with yourself, and finding the common denominator, even if you don't think it's your fault in a situation, identify what you may have done to contribute to that conversation, that situation, because you're going to have to say, okay, I am not going to do this again. I am not going to go down this route again. I'm going to do this instead. Okay, so that's all. Look, that was all in one thing. That was all one step. That was all the first step. Okay, identifying the problem. If you're fat, boo-boo, get on the scale. Okay, identify the problem. That's step number one. How much do you weigh? What's your BMI? Are you obese or are you overweight, or what's going on? Okay, are you eating too much? Are you whatever? Identify the problem. There's no way to fix something that you can't look at. Okay, so be honest with yourself. Okay, now you may have multiple problems. Okay, so you will want to list down what those issues are. Okay, this is kind of like setting goals. So you are identifying what the problem is first. That's what advertisers do to us. Is the thirst getting you down? Well, buy such and such to quench your thirst. Okay, that's what they do to us first. They touch on the pain point. What is the pain point? What is this person's problem? Where does it hurt? Okay, now that's gonna help you to prioritize your list. You know, I'm all about prioritizing the list, because you can have a list, but there's certain things that you're gonna want to dig into first. Okay, so what are those things that hurt the most? Okay, what are some things that you're thinking about every single day? Now, if this is financial for you, then that would be something that hurt the most, because you may be thinking about it every single day. If you don't have enough food to feed your kids every single day, or yourself every single day, then you know that this is an urgent problem that you need to take action immediately. Okay? Now, when you go to a supervisor with a problem at your job, right? What do they always want you to come with instead of just coming with a problem? The solution, right? So in making a list of the problems, you're going to have to also identify some of the solutions that could fix those problems for you, okay? So there may be instances where you don't know how to fix the problem, but you're going to need to start in small steps with what information you do know, okay? So for instance, if on your list is I'm fat, what is the solution? To lose weight, okay? So then you want to break it all the way down into the how. Well, how? Well, how? And keep going all the way down until you get to the simplest thing. Because I'm telling you, getting out of a rut is not easy. Sometimes getting out of a rut takes years, okay? Takes years. So by you identifying each layer of the problem, let's go back to losing weight, okay? You saying, okay, I need to lose weight. Well, how much am I overweight? Well, why am I overweight? Well, why am I overeating this way? I'm going to tell y'all right now, when you drill all the way down into your problem, you're almost always going to come back to a mental issue, okay? What's another word for it? Not just mental health, because, you know, sometimes mental health, people don't like the way that sounds, but an issue, a situation that you went through, a mindset, there we go. A mindset or some situation or some trauma that you've been through, okay? Every single time you go back to the why, it's always going to push back to your mindset, which is why in previous classes, I was saying that the number one thing you need to do is get your mind right. You need to get your mind in a place where you're like deciding how you're going to handle a thing, because it's all about your mind. Okay. I will do this. I won't do that. It's all about your willpower, your mindset. Okay. I'm just gonna keep rolling with the weight example. Okay. Why do some people eat? It could be or overeat. It could be an emotional thing. Okay. Oh, I'm sad, so this was the only pleasure that I got. Okay. It's always going to drill down to that. Okay. So now we were talking about making the list of solutions. When you start making a list of solutions, it's automatically going to make you feel better, because you will know that you are working on the problem already. Okay. So, that is the measure of success. Making continuous progress, not being at a standstill. Okay. So making a list of the solutions will help you get to that point where when you get done with one of the tasks, you can start checking it off. Okay. Now, I said before that this could take time. And I really want to emphasize that getting out of a rut can really take some time. So I even made that one of the steps. Okay. So another step to getting out of a rut is to hanker down. Okay. You have to know. Listen, this may take years. My single parents out there, my single moms out there. Okay. You just had a baby. You might be in this rut for 5 years. Okay. And I'm sorry to break it to you new moms, but if you an old mom like me, my son's almost 15 years old, then you know what it's like and what you've been through at all those stages in life. So hankering down and saying, okay, I'm in this for the long ride, and I know that this may take some time and things are not going to happen overnight, will help to switch your mindset into that space where you're like, okay, I'm going to keep chugging along doing this. Okay. Going back to the single parent thing. And even if you're not a single parent, you could be a coupled parent. Okay. You could be a man and a woman in a relationship or whatever, 2 parents household with children and still be experiencing these ruts. Okay. So whoever it is that I'm talking to, people come to me and ask me, well, my child is 2 years old. When is this going to end? When I say, well, when they get 5 years old, that's when you go to the next level. You're going to have different layers and different levels of your rut situation, or what you consider to be a rut. The reason I choose 5 years old for children is because a lot of times that's when they go to kindergarten. And so it's a transition. You go from paying for daycare to the kindergarten situation, and you might only have to pay for before and after care. Okay. So just know that every situation, every rut that you are in, it may have even taken some time to get in that rut. So know that it's going to take some time to reverse that and get out of that rut as well. Okay. So that is a huge step. Hanker down and understand that this could take some time. All right. Okay. These are some things to do while you're hankering down. Okay. Get your money right. Okay. This may happen little by little. You may get one job promotion and go. You have to think of this in layers and levels. You may say, well, I'm making $20,000 right now. If I could just make $30,000, this could happen. Then when you get to $30,000, you may say, ooh, I'm making $30,000. If I could just get to $40,000, I can make this happen. So you're experiencing different layers of these ruts. And once you get to $40,000, you're going to look back like, man, how was I making that $20,000 work? Okay, I should have added that as a step. Look back at something that you've gone through in the past and remember how you made it work. Okay, how did you hustle? How did you juggle? How were you juggling and struggling? How were you getting it together? okay? But you got to remember to do some things in the meantime while you're waiting for these things to come through. You got to find a reason to be happy in the meantime, in the moment. You know, people always talk about living in the moment, being in the now. Okay, that's exactly what you have to do. You cannot go back to the past and, relive those moments. And you cannot live in the future because it's not here yet. You need to be living for today. And definitely we know tomorrow is not promised. Okay, so start doing things in the meantime. Okay, what can you do in the meantime? Get your mind right. Get your body right. Work on these other things. See, when I clean my house, right, I try to make things go on autopilot. It's some things that's going to be working in the background while I work on one other thing, okay? So if I'm going to clean my house, the first thing I'm going to do is put a load of laundry in the washing machine. While that's going, I'm going to do the dishes, put that in the dishwasher, and then boom, turn that on and that's going. And then I'm moving on to the next thing. So the dishwasher and the washing machine, chugga, going by itself on autopilot. And that's how you have to remember to treat these phases of your life when you're getting out of this rut. So let's say, for instance, you're working on a financial struggle. Guess what? You can't make progress with it every day. And if you even try to make progress with it every day, you might hurt yourself mentally, stress yourself out. Okay? So if you watched my class where I talked about budgeting and that every person should have, at least 3 bank accounts, I started to talk about not looking at your bills every single day, not looking at your bills when they come in the mail. If you're a person that gets paid every 2 weeks and you're doing this periodic budget as you should be, then you should only be looking at that bill every 2 weeks. Okay, so if you know, okay, I got paid today and I don't get paid again until 2 weeks, you need to be forecasting. Okay, what needs to be paid in these 2 weeks while I'm waiting? Okay, after that's done, that's 1 day that you did that. The rest of those 13 days while you're waiting to get paid again, don't be thinking about your bills. Don't think about any of that stuff, because just like my washing machine is going by itself, just like my dishwasher is going by itself, like I said, I put things on autopilot, that's already going. Okay, that money is already spent. And if you followed my advice about the multiple bank accounts, you don't have to worry about overdrafts or anything and constantly managing that money every day, because you've already managed that 1 day. You've already reconciled your funds that 1 day, and you've already switched your money over into multiple accounts, so you don't have to worry about that. So let those things go on autopilot that you're working on, and then work on something else. Like I said, if you're in a rut, you may have multiple things going on, okay? So, the big things that are going to take the longest, put some measures in place and let them roll on autopilot while you work on a few easier things. This will help your mindset as well, okay? Identify who can help you. That's another step. Okay, y'all know closed mouths don't get fed, right? Thank you, Daddy. He said, tell it, baby girl. Yes, y'all know closed mouths don't get fed, right? So you need to identify who it is that can help you. Now, some of you may say, well, there's nobody that can help me. Okay, well, you're going to have to do this by yourself, but I guarantee that the majority of you have somebody that can help you, whether it be a family member or maybe a mentor, somebody at work, even somebody on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, something like that, somebody inspirational that you can look at that can help you reach that goal or that can inspire you to reach that goal. You need to be identifying those people and those surroundings that can help you. Now, once you start identifying those people that can help you get out of a rut, either with their finances or with their knowledge, okay, that will start to help you narrow down those people that you need to eliminate. Okay, because a lot of times if you're in a rut, if you're in a bad situation, there's some people who you need to eliminate. Okay, most of the time, there's somebody draining on your energy. There's somebody draining on your resources, that you need to eliminate. And even maybe so you can concentrate on you. All right? If you're in, let's talk about relationships for a minute. If you're in a relationship that's putting you in a rut, and you need to let that person go before you can re-identify even who you are and what you need to work on. Okay? You need to let them go and then maybe do a dating detox for a while. 30, 60, 90 days. Who knows? It depends on, what it is that you need and what it is that you've gone through and maybe how long you've been with the person. Okay? So you will start to see the stars align. The writing's going to be on the wall. A lot of times we know the red flags. We see the red flags. We know what's wrong and we know what's right. We can feel it. We can see it. We can hear it. We get messages, okay, over and over and over again. So when you start to move in the right direction of identifying who it is that can help you and who it is that you need to align yourself with, that's when you start to realize who needs to go by the wayside. Who needs to fall down on your list of priorities, okay? This could be relationships or friendships, okay? Been there, done that. Let me have a drink. Give me a moment, y'all. Okay. When you eliminate people, it's going to be hard for you to eliminate people. One thing that I don't want you to think about when you eliminate people, okay, is don't even think twice about what they have done for you. I'm sorry. I hate to be mean, but when you're in a situation, it's like, well, it's you or me. Dog eat dog, okay, by any means necessary. So if to save me, I have to eliminate you, even if you loaned me $30, $40, $50 in the past, well, thank you. Pay the person back or whatever you got to do. But y'all know what I'm saying, okay? Maybe somebody did you some favors before. Maybe you got to drop a girlfriend who babysat your kids a number of times. So, let that go, okay? For your own sake and your own sanity and to get out of your own rut. If this person is draining on you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, goodbye, okay? You have to make your way out of a rut. Now, this is hard because a lot of you won't do this, okay? There's only a few of you that'll really take the bull by the horns and say, you know what? This is my life and this is what I'm willing to do for it. So in this situation, when you want to get out of a rut, you have to decide, what am I willing to do for this? What am I willing to sacrifice? Who am I willing to sacrifice for this? And some of y'all are willing to sacrifice yourselves, for the sake of other people. But you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to meet your goals. You cannot meet your goals sacrificing yourself for the sake of other people. Some other people need to be let go by the wayside. It's time for you to start living for you. We talked about that last class, okay? Start eliminating people. Level up. Ooh, I forgot I wrote this down. Some of y'all may need to know whether or not you're a hobosexual. Hello? Are you a hobosexual? Or somebody you dealing with a hobosexual? Now, some of y'all are probably looking at me like I'm crazy, like, girl, what is a hobosexual? Go and look for my video, okay? I may link it to this one once I post it and everything on what is a hobosexual, okay? I did a whole entire video on it, but basically, a hobosexual is somebody who is using somebody else, living up off of them for money, okay? Y'all know what a hobo is, a bum, okay? And sexual, hobosexual. It's a play on the word homosexual, but it's a hobosexual. So, hey Marcus, I love you too, baby. Thank you for watching. Y'all, my peeps be in here supporting me. Thank you, Marcus. So, are you a hobosexual? Is the person who's living up off of you a hobosexual? If they are, eliminate them, okay? I was saying in another video, how to identify a hobosexual is the person not working, okay? Are they not contributing to the household? Are you a hobosexual, okay? Some of y'all, okay, it's a lot of ladies. I'm just going to call the ladies out for a minute. Some of y'all are still with that guy. Well, this could be guys too. Some of y'all are still with that person because you can't afford to leave them alone. Now that's real. You're like, if I leave them alone, I'm gonna be losing about $500-$600 a month, and I don't know if I can afford that on my own. Okay, just own up to it. No shade, but you're a homosexual, boo. And so if you are a homosexual, it's even more important for you to get up out of this rut. Take these notes right here. Get up out of this rut, because how long are you going to be stuck? I mean, this is about you identifying what's going on with you, because nobody's going to help you get out of the rut but you. And if you're, that's why I was saying, this is taking me back to like my first class. When you decide that you want a thing, you have to decide that you are okay with everything that comes along with that thing. So if you feel like you're in a rut in a relationship, but you're a homosexual and you can't afford to move along and you're not taking the steps to move out of it, then you're okay with living in an unhappy situation. You're okay with living an unhappy life for however long, however many years you're going to deal with this person that's financially supporting you. So if you're trying to get out of your rut, if you're trying to make a way for yourself, if you're trying to gain independence and have some level of satisfaction in your life, then you need to say, you know what, by any means necessary, I'm going to make this happen. I'm not going to be a homosexual anymore. So this is another step. Let's keep it moving on. How to get out of a rut. Some of y'all need to get out of a rut financially. Okay, we talked about that. And then, the love thing too. You know, it's a financial situation sometimes, just like I was saying with the homosexual. You need to start thinking about, what it is that you're worth, what it is that you can offer to people. Okay, what do I know and what skill do I have? This is a huge thing that can help you out of a rut. Because when you're in a rut, it's no time for games. It's time to get your hustle on. It's time to get some additional sources of income. Well, what do I know how to do? Okay, do I know how to sew? Well, let me start making these quarantine masks. Am I good at exercising? Well, you know what? Let me start getting people in these Zoom groups and doing these Zoom exercise classes and getting this coin. Okay, do I know how to do hair? Yeah, let me start doing this hair, And an even better idea is to teach somebody else how to do what you do. Okay? That's when the money will start flowing in even more on autopilot. You got a skill? You know how to do something? Oh, honey, make a video out of it. Upload that thing and let that thing just play on repeat whenever somebody hits play. That's on autopilot. Okay? You have to start identifying those things. What is your value? What are you worth? Okay? Because you cannot always rely on, I need to go back to school. I'm going to go back to school. A lot of y'all say that and just be going back to school for no reason. I always say, does the thing that you want to do require you to have that particular type of education? I have a friend, good friend of mine I went to school with, okay? This person, and if he's watching, hey, I'm talking about you, but it's all love. I use you as a positive example all the time. All right. He got an engineering physics degree, okay? Big time degree, that type of degree that takes you 5 years to get, okay? Decided, I don't want to do that, okay? Decided to start getting IT certifications. Now, homeboy is out there clocking the dollars, okay? He is making money. Him and his wife are living, a good life, a fulfilled life, because he decided to do what he wanted to do. So why did I tell that story? Because the answer is not always about going back to school. Sometimes you may need to go and get those specific certifications or that specific licensure that you need, okay, in order to make your thing happen. Or some of you don't need the education at all. You just need to get out there and do it, okay? So this is it. We're talking about how to get out of a rut. This is one of the huge ways to get out of a financial rut, is to discover your value, your worth, what it is that you know how to do, what skill do you possess that you can pass along to somebody else? Can you teach it to somebody else? Or can you take that skill and start your own business with it? Okay, I might have to do another class about easy steps to start your own business, because it's so much easier than you think to start your own business. It's so much easier than you think. So just start doing it, okay? So that's another step. Okay, let's go back over the steps of how to get out of a rut. Let's check our time too. Okay, 7:35. Identify the problem. Be honest with yourself, okay? Find the common denominator. Then you're going to have to write these down. Start making lists, a list of your problem, list of the solutions. Break it all the way down. Then you have to know that the solution to this, it may take years, and you may have to make some sacrifices. Those of you who know me know one of my favorite things to say is short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, right? Short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, okay? I bought a house, okay? I bought a house, but before I bought that house, guess what? I had to sacrifice and live with somebody else. I lived at my grandmother's house, okay, for 3 years, okay? 3 years, and I never lived with anybody like that long before, okay, as an adult. But I had my eye on the prize, okay? I was reconciling my finances, paying off little debt, getting my mind straight, cutting here, cutting there, until it was time for me to step out and boom, hey, make that move. So some of y'all are in that situation right now, and you're like, man, am I doing this? You're not doing it for nothing. That is why I say one of the steps is to hanker down, because your goal might take years to get to. Okay? Renata said, that's a good one. How long do you want to be stuck? Yes. You have to identify what you're willing to do. And this is one of the number one problem. If you don't listen to anything else, and thank you for saying that, Renata. If you don't listen to anything else I say, listen to this part. You have to decide what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do to fix your problem. Are you willing to live with somebody else for a few years while you get your bills together and stop buying those shoes and stop buying those bags and stop buying those purses and stop getting your nails done and do your own hair and trim your own mustache and beard? Are you willing to do that while you scrape your finances together and pay off little bills to get your credit right, or pay off another debt that don't have anything to do with your credit, or build up a nest egg so you can pay on your down payment to your house or something? What are you willing to do? Short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. Okay, when I look back at that 3 years now, and thank you, Gran. Thank you for letting me and my son stay at your house for those 3 years. Okay, what are you willing to do to make your dream come alive? Okay, what are you willing to put down? That is the number one takeaway from this. Okay, what are you willing to sacrifice to be able to get to the end of the rainbow? You have to let go of your old way of thinking. You may be a person that says, well, I'm not working no 2 jobs. Well, you must not want it that bad. Okay? You must not. Okay? I'm not willing to work at Kmart. I don't know who they think I am. I'm worth more than that. Well, you're worth 0 right now, boo-boo. So I think working at Kmart might be the best decision for you. Okay? It's time to put pride to the side when you're getting out of a rut. Okay? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to stop buying? Are you willing to give up your idle time? Are you willing to wake up a little bit earlier? Are you willing to go to sleep a little bit later? What are you willing to do? It's not going to be a cakewalk to get out of a rut. If it is, then it's not a rut. We're talking about ruts here. Okay? We're talking about ruts. We're talking about financial ruts, physical ruts. Okay? A rut is not going to be 1, 2, 3. So hunker down and decide what you will and won't do, okay, to get through this. But know that you can get through it, and it's going to take some time. And look back at your mistakes or look back at your successes as well, okay? And keep doing the thing that was successful and stop doing the damn thing that wasn't successful. Sometimes it's just that easy. And I know it's easier said than done, but you just have to really make that decision in your life if you want to climb out of a hole and take it from somebody who has been there, done that, okay, and live to tell a story. All right? So that's it. That's my advice. This class was a little more brief. Let's check our time. Okay. Did good. 7:41. You know, those are the steps to getting out of a rut. That's it. You would think it would be more complicated than that, but it's really not. Okay? So if this advice resonated with you, if you feel it, like this video. Okay, share this with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, okay, on YouTube. It is the Girlfriend Experience LLC, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every single time I post a new video. I do these videos on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Every Tuesday and Thursday night, I'm here with you. Okay, so if you have topics that you want to talk about, if you have things that you want to discuss, if you have things that, you know, have been on your mind, whatever you want to talk about, let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you want to talk about. Send me a private message. Let me know what you want to talk about. You can always email me at info@thegirlfriendexperience.org. That's info@thegirlfriendexperience.org. Okay, Renata says this was good. God was on point tonight. A great reminder because I'm definitely in a rough right now. Good, girl. Get out of... Listen, I'm telling you, I have been through some situations where you're like, wow, she's still smiling every day? Yeah, I'm still smiling every day because I know that I'm a warrior and that I have come out of it stronger, okay? And can now give back and teach to somebody else. So make it your goal to be a warrior. Make it your goal to give back once you've reached that level, because anybody can do this, okay? Unless you have a severe and persistent mental illness, you can make this happen. You can do anything. Anything. All right? So thank y'all for being with me. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your love, your comments, your support. Please continue to support me, y'all. Subscribe to that YouTube channel, okay, so I can get this YouTube coin. I'm trying to live by example, okay? All right, until next time, I love y'all. Peace and blessings.